Well, good afternoon. This is Marty with Speaking on Law, and here again we have John Bogart, Salt Lake City attorney, and he's got some updates he wants to tell us about. I know a lot of things happen in the electronic market pretty quickly, and so he's got a brand new website. He's got more information, updated items concerning not only publications that he does and has participated in, but he also has a book that you can access on there, and some client testimonials, some stories there. So before I go any further, John, why don't you tell us what's going on with your new website?
Okay. Thanks, Marty. We decided we needed a new website. It had been a couple of years, actually, since we took a close look at what we had, and the fact was we had two different websites up. We thought that was sort of a mistake, a little confusing, but to bring them all together into one place and get them uniform, get a single coherent vision, and we thought now was a good time to do that. And that's part of what we did with the update. We had some other reasons as well, but I thought it was important to get everything up to date and going forward with a consistent, clean presentation. And we've had changes in personnel, and the firm has developed over the last year and a half, 2 years, and gotten into some new things, and they needed to be described as well. So that was sort of the motivation for what we did. We're pretty pleased with how it's turned out. We think it's got a nice look, and it conforms to the image that we're trying to project to our clients and to the outside world. So I would say overall we're pretty happy with where it is now, and there'll be some additional changes going forward. We found out ways to do that that'll make it easy to do rather than a big project, which is always good help. And so it just means, like everybody else, we're learning about technology beyond what's exactly needed for our job. And websites are part of marketing. They're not really. I'm a litigator. I'm not a marketer. So I think.
Well, I've had an opportunity. I took a look at your website, and it really looks professional and clean. And it's I know it's a consolidation, but it's very clear. Different areas that you specialize in. Tell me, John, if you had any feedback from colleagues or internally or even clients on the new look and the feel and the accessibility to all the publications that you've involved in?
We have, because we sent some links to some folks we work with on a regular basis. We wanted to get their input because at the end of the day, it's not what I think of the thing that matters. It's whether it works for my clients and potential clients, and those are folks outside my office. So we sent out links and see what we got in the way of feedback, and it was all very positive. They liked the way the new look, and they found the information useful and easy to get at because it was organized in a way that seemed transparent to them, and that was what we wanted, and we're happy with that. So the feedback's been very good about it so far, and we're hopeful that will continue. And we're also, surprisingly enough, it's only been online just today, and we've already gotten, new inquiries from folks coming through the website, and that's a good sign that it's doing its job.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear. And what I'm going to put on my screen now, you can see, is the actual website. It's www.tellusvglaw.com. You can see it there on the screen. And feel free to contact John if you have any questions regarding business law or litigation in the Salt Lake City area or throughout the United States. And John, are there any parting comments you'd like to make? And first of all, I want to tell you thank you for coming on our show again, and we always appreciate your participation.
Thanks, Marty. There were a couple things I should add in that I may not have covered. Well, one, as I mentioned, we've had some change in personnel, and that's important to get out and bring up-to-date images. I know the old picture for me at least was almost 10 years old, so I'd like to look like that, but I don't, so I thought I should give a real one. And one of the things that we've added in is a more accurate list of publications by folks involved in the firm to make that easy and accessible so people can see what we're doing and keeping that up to date. You'll see at the very top is a current book which I was a general editor for in antitrust law, and there's another one that will be added in. We just didn't get it in there. It's one that we edited, general editor for a few years ago, about conflicts in the antitrust world, circuit conflicts, and we wanted to bring that in and make those where they were articles. You could just tag right onto them, click from the link on the first page right to the article, take a read. I should warn listeners that they're by and large sort of philosophy oriented rather than law, but we've got the law articles are there and they're prominent, and you can look at those as well. So there's just a couple of things I wanted to make sure people understood.
Well, that brings up another point. Can you tell us a little bit about the book? I noticed there's a link to a book that you wrote. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
A little bit. I didn't actually write it. I'm not the sole author. That's another project, which I was the general editor of for litigation committee in the antitrust section of the ABA. That book is about concurrent prosecutions, criminal and civil prosecutions in the antitrust world. And it's really designed for people who are just sort of being forced into lawyers and general counsel office who are facing these things for the first or second time and are not really sure exactly what the strategic concerns are. It's not a how-to manual. It's not a practice guide in that sense. But we got leading figures from both the criminal side, criminal defense side in particular, although some DOJ lawyers participated, and on the civil side, both internationally and in the United States, leading figures, to help us write the whole thing. And it's designed to give you, as a reader, advice about how to think about, at the outset, where you have ongoing concurrent antitrust litigation facing both the government and private plaintiffs, or if you're a private plaintiff's lawyer, where you've got an ongoing federal case that's related to what you're trying to do, and how those two interact, what kinds of issues are going to arise, that you need to think through and plan for. And so it's another effort by that committee to give useful, practical guidance that's not time-bound and so out of date within a year. So this is another of those projects, and we think it's turned out very well. We've gotten very good feedback about it from both the ABA and from folks who have purchased the book.
Well, that's awesome to hear, and congratulations. I know that your website is dynamic, and now with this new approach, you'll be updating this list as time goes on, so we look forward to a lot of new and great things happening there. And I did notice that you do have some staffing changes. You mentioned that. Is this a time where you want to introduce anyone or make a mention?
Well, one of the lawyers who stayed with us is Julie Edwards, and Julie and I have worked together for a long time, both at Benninger Crockett before it was merged into Howry, and we worked together at Howry. And we had both left it for different reasons at slightly different times, but now we're working together again, and through TLOS we've had some good success together on a variety of cases.
Well, that's great to know, and it's great to know that you're growing and things are going well. We wish you all the best. Again, thank you for coming today, and we'll talk to you soon. This is Speaking on Law.
Thank you.